My agent was a trader, and he was managing money for people. So he said, John, if you come down to the pits, because I didn't want to go up to Canada and play, and it was too late, the season had started, nobody's going to pick me up off the waiver wires because I wasn't a superstar. You know, if you're a fading superstar, maybe they'll pick you up off the waiver wires at the end of training camp, but I wasn't that guy. So I didn't want to go up to Canada and make almost nothing. So I said, I'll work for you. He said, if you work for me down there in the pits, I'll give you a place to live for free, but I won't pay you because you're worthless until you learn it. So I'm not going to pay you anything. So I went down there, did that for 6 months. 3 months into it, the light went off and I figured out what was going on, and then I loved it. But I hated the first 3 months because I didn't understand what was going on.
And why take an American football player and stick him in the pit? Why not go to the University of Chicago, just down on the south side, and get one of these PhD quants and put him in there that knows economics and finance?
Right.
Why?
And you and I both know the answer to that question, because the PhD quant from the University of Chicago is going to stand in that pit, and he or she is going to be looking around at all the screens and trying to figure things out when they're going to buy them and sell them. Meanwhile, 5 different guys are going to elbow them, get the hell out of the way, and push them, shout at them, criticize every single thing they do, get under their skin. I mean, it's a lot like what I remember your interview with David Goggins, and when those drill instructors are drilling down on those guys to break them. Traders on the floor do that too. And every time you lose money, they'll rub it in. Oh, nice trade. Hey, Brian, how'd that one work out? They're on you, because if you're standing there, I'm going to make less money because I need all the money that I can make in this area right here. And all of a sudden, Brian is standing right here. And I'm like, well, what if he cuts into how much I'm going to make? I'm going to make half as much. Screw that. Hey, Brian, nice shoes. Whatever. Just anything. So that's why. We'd see chess grandmasters come down to the floor. We'd see guys that, were backgammon players, pro backgammon players, guys that could count 4 decks in a game of blackjack would come down. Some of those guys could make it, but they'd have to have thick skin and they'd have to be really disciplined. And put up with all those other things I mentioned, the smell, the physicality, all of that. They'd have to be able to put up with that. That's why you didn't see a lot of guys with real thick glasses that were the quant types and the engineers.
Right, so being big, physically big, strong, and not to be intimidated is a big asset back in the day in the pits.
True.
Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real, and I've just sat down with Jon Najarian, legendary options trader, Hall of Famer, and TV celebrity. You might know him as host of CNBC's Halftime Report, or from his books, How I Trade Options and The 22 Rules of Investing.
I think there's just so much information in options that isn't available in stock. I think it's all about leverage and defining your risk. And if you can do those 2 things, I think you can be in this game a long time and make money.
Well, in just a few days, Jon will finally reveal what made him a legendary options trader. In a private broadcast that won't be available on YouTube or anywhere public, he'll show an exclusive group of people how he's been using special infrastructure that's only available to institutional investors. Something that allows him to get a critical piece of information directly from the market exchanges. Information that can tip you off about big market moves a few days before they happen.
We built this algorithm that looked for unusual trading patterns in the market. Once you find those patterns, then it makes it a lot easier to coattail on the smart money.
Now, as a former Wall Street banker myself, I am super excited to share this investment strategy for the very first time. As the host of this episode, I'm able to offer you exclusive rights to a seat at his free training. But you must act now to secure your place. So click on the link below or go to londonreal.tv/options to lock in your spot. And I will see you there.